Hello everyone. Today I'm playing with this. Last weekend I was out hiking in the desert here and I saw all these beautiful palm trees, and I was trying to think of kind of a unique way to paint them versus just, the plain old green and brown and gold, which is very pretty, but I wanted to add some other colors in it. I think that might also be why don't paint landscapes a lot. Oh my gosh, look at that. I'm still rubbing Brusho off of my desk. So I thought I would give this a try. I'm not sure how this is even going to work, but let's just see. What I'm going to do is, by the way, I'm using my Artisto Pads. You know I love these. And these are really what I use for kind of my everyday painting, experimenting, playing with washes and color mixes. Such a great beginner book, you guys. If you don't have these, or if you're currently using them, I have tons of these I've cataloged with different, seasons and subjects. And if you don't want to see this info, by the way, just fast forward. And they come spiral bound. The paper is just fabulous. It's got such a great texture. It isn't 100% cotton, I'll tell you that right up front, but it behaves to me just like it. So I really like these. Again, because they come in a spiral, you can save these, date them, use them however you want. So that's what I'm using today. I also want to get some real thin brush strokes for the fronds or the palms. So I am using, my favorite is the Princeton brush, my 6 long, because it is a little bit longer than the 8 and it can go quite thin. So I'm going to use that today. And I'll be using a wet on dry technique. So going onto my dry paper with a wet brush. I should say damp, because I'm not going to have any puddles. If you have bought the Dugatos, these are perfect. And for those of you that are a beginner joining me, these Dugatos, if you want to, you're kind of dabbling in watercolor, not so sure, these are fantastic. You get a whole set of them for like $15. I have had these for a year. They're fantastic, you guys. Look at that point I still have on there. And you get a variety of sizes. It's a whole set. So these are really fantastic if you don't want to quite jump into buying these beautiful Princeton brushes. The Velvetouch has a nice touch and it's short, so that's why I kind of like it. And I've had these Princeton brushes. I take very good care of my brushes. I've had them for years and years and years. Last thing is 2 different paints. Today, I don't usually paint on my with my Winsor Newtons because they're just too pricey for me. I can't afford to paint with them every day. Oh my goodness, what am I seeing in here? It's been a while since I painted with them. And look at that, oh my gosh. A poor little moth got caught in there. That's funny. So I did activate these. This is my Winsor Newton palette I've had for ages. But again, for the beginners, and what I paint with daily is this beautiful Paul Rubens MeiLang palette. It's fantastic, you guys. It has all the colors you need. Being a lazy painter, I don't always like to have to sit and mix my colors. This gives me all the choices. Look at all these greens and browns and blues, oranges, reds. My favorite of theirs, well, I like them all, but the turquoise, which they call turkey blue, by the way, we've all gotten a laugh out of that one. They have a wonderful selection of reds. This beautiful yellow green and their greens. Just love this palette. They're really vibrant. You can also get the transparency out of them, and they are much less the cost than your Winsor Newtons. But I thought today I'd just pull out my Winsor Newton palette because I hadn't in a long time and play with it a little. I'm going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do, and like I said, I haven't tested this out. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here. I thought I'm going to use a mixture of my Winsor Newtons and then maybe even sprinkle in a little bit of these Brusho crystals by Colorcraft. I just bought those and I'm dying to use them and mix them in here. Let me go ahead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some palm fronds. I don't know if that's what you actually call them. That's what I'm calling them. Coming out. These trees, you guys, in Anza-Borrego, they were literally ginormous. They were huge. I felt like I was back in like prehistoric days. Before that dries too much, I'm going to go ahead and take this olive green. Let's see, maybe not the olive green. I think I'll do the moss. No, I want to make it colorful. Let's go for that olive green. Now, hopefully this didn't just dry on me. I put a push pin in mine so that I could kind of be careful, because I'll tell you what, guys, this Brusho can get really out of control messy. Yesterday after playing with them, I had it everywhere. So if you can see there, some of this dried. I'll have to go back in and re-wet that, but it went right where my palm fronds are. And actually, I'm pretty happy with those. Let's just, I'm just gonna add some water. Oh, I told you I'm experimenting with this today. So I am just kind of playing and discovering new things with you. I really like those yellow and golds. I'm hoping some of that goes out. I think what happens here is when it gets poured on, you have a little bit more of the individual colors, which is like a yellow and a blue here, really pretty. And when I'm using a wet brush, it's kind of mixing them together to turn out to that yellow green. But I really like this, you guys. Oh my gosh, that is fantastic. So what I might do on the other palm tree I do here is do some sections at a time. Let me find, for these giant palm trees had like these gold, I'll have to try and find a picture, dried palm leaves that came down. So I think for that, I will go ahead and use the sandstone. That's why these swatch sheets are so important, you guys. Do a swatch of your paints. That has saved me many a time from using a color that I go to put on my page and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is not the color I was looking for. So here's the sandstone. And I'm going to create, now what's happened? Okay, so see, I'm learning. I already had Brusho here, so it picked that up, which is totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and go into these big giant, oh, and I've probably got some Brusho on my brush, trunks that they had, which did get smaller at the base. These trees were just fascinating to me. I'll try and post some pictures maybe in the, so I want some brown and yellow in there. I think maybe I'll use that yellow ochre. I totally felt like I was in dinosaur days. So let's go in here with some of this and see how this spreads around. There we go. This Brusho, you guys, I never imagined. The first time I used it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a mess. I don't even know what to do with this. But I'm really having fun with this now. So I'm going to just draw it down. I'm going to add some more water. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I really like that effect. And yeah, that's really nice. The other thing I want to do up here, I would like to get a little bit of like a spray of color, which is kind of easy to get with the Brusho. So I think what I'll do, I need my tiny sprayer and I don't know where that is. So maybe what I'll do is do some water sprinklets. I just made that word up, by the way, sprinklets. And see if I can get kind of an organic spray coming out. Ooh, look at these beautiful colors. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you guys encouraged me to play with this Brusho. This is really fantastic. So let's do a little bit of that. And then we'll put on a little bit more of that Brusho. And see if we can get some of that to spread. You hardly need any of this, you guys. Yeah, that was kind of the look I was going for. Now, if I had my tiny little spray bottle, I would just spray it a little. Let's do another one right here, and I'm gonna break the fronds. I gotta look that word up. I'm not even sure that's what it's called. Palm fronds up and see if that will help. So let's start right here. Now I've got a lot of Brusho on the page already, so that's why you're seeing it's already turning a color. Oh, this is, oh my gosh, you guys, you got to try this. I know these are kind of pricey. Maybe just buy a color or two. Let's use that sandstone and play with it and see how much fun it is. There we go. Oh my gosh, it's like the color all of a sudden appears. Look at how beautiful that is. I'm going to continue the other fronds over here. I know, you guys, seriously, I get so excited with this stuff. I sometimes think of these things in the evening and my husband's like, what are you doing? And I'll be in my art room painting something because I thought about it. Let's go a little bit for that olivey green. Put some of that in there. Yeah, that's nice. And once you sprinkle that on there, it starts turning different colors. Look at this. I'm getting some blues, some greens. So pretty. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Let's actually try and put in the trunk first. Now, because I have some of that Brusho already on my paper, it kind of turned it a color. Let's do, what color was that? I think, I gotta look at my sheet here. Yellow ochre. Where is, so there's my yellow ochre. So I'm gonna put that on the trunk here. Yeah, definitely use this push pin method. I've also several times used where you just open the cap, but let me tell you, a lot can come out even on accident. And then I'm just going to draw some lines like such. There we go. And I am making these a little bit thicker because they were thicker out there. The other thing I think I'll do is add in some of these darker ones. I kind of liked that look. I'm just barely using the tip of my brush, you guys. very light pressure, anchoring my hand on the side here. And now I'll go in and do these. So using just a wet brush and pulling some of those down. I don't want to get rid of all that white space. So hold on, I gotta take my jacket off. Getting a little hot here. Okay. Whew. So how pretty is that? I really like that. I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna try and blow on that. Didn't do a whole lot. Okay, so for that Brusho, I really want to bring in some of those dark greens, and I don't want to overwork this at the same time. Now I'm trying to remember what was kind of at the bottom here. I think I really don't like working in twos either, by the way, but you know, that's what it's going to be today. I'm going to create, there is lots of brush and stuff growing up all around the base of these trees. So I'm just going to add that in, and let's go ahead and use, I think it was the olive green again, because I want to get some of that blue. Really liked that dark olive green kind of bluish color. Might need to open that hole up a little bit more. There we go. Now, if I go into that with a wet brush, I'm going to get these dark colors. So watch this. Ooh, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Just using the lightest touch, and that's where this 6 long round comes in really handy. I don't want to make all of them dark because I want some kind of in the background there. Yeah, I like, you guys, I think you're really going to like this Brusho. It's fun. You just never know what colors you're going to get. Okay, I like that. And then let's do this side as well. So I'm just going to dip my brush in water. And by the way, what I'm doing right now is I'm holding my brush a little bit farther back. So I have a looser hold and my brush can move a little bit more. When I want more control, I'm going to hold near the ferrule. But I really want my brush to kind of dance around to create these lines and little grass. And then let's use that olive green or whatever green you choose. Get colorful with this. I mean, these, make them whatever color you want. And then try and leave some lighter ones in the background because that brings them out, or brings them into the background rather. The darker the colors, they're going to kind of pop out in front. There we go. So again, holding my brush back a little bit more, and I'm not even grounding my hand because I want my brush to really dance and play. There we go. Now again, I would normally have 3 palm trees, but what I did, because I couldn't fit another one in, is I kind of made this an element. So I feel like I have 3 of something and they all kind of go together. So I like that. Now, I think I'm pretty much done. I really like this, you guys. I think this was really fun. So I hope you'll try that technique. We're going to be doing lots more with this Brusho. I think this can be just so much fun. I need to go back and find my little tiny mister bottle so I can get a little bit more in there and create a little bit more spray and mist. I don't want to get rid of all of my white space in there because that's so interesting. So be careful when you're doing this that you're preserving a lot of those white spaces in there. And I actually even like the darker colors. Just, I've got the lightest touch here that I'm using. I'm pulling down some of the dark into here for that interest. There we go. And now I pulled down a little bit of the gold. I mean, these trees were really huge and so full. You couldn't, looking up, you couldn't even see the light of day through them. There we go. Very light touch. And I think I'm done. Look how fun. All right, guys. Well, that was the palm trees. I will try and find the picture I took of these ginormous trees and us standing way down here in them. So much fun. All right. I think this Brusho is going to be really fun for landscapes, and just love the organic look. I think these are really going to be fun, you guys, and I can't wait to bring you more. All right, I will talk to you soon. And something that just occurred to me, I know, want to add. Do I do it, guys? You can just turn this off now if you've got enough here, but I almost feel I want to add some of that gold. I know, I can't stand it. I'm always curious, like, oh, what would it look like if I added some gold? And ooh, look at that, you guys. Oh, this is so fun. I'll hold this up to the camera so you can see. I mean, literally, to me, you know, it just adds so much, like, kind of whimsy and fun when I add in that gold. Ooh, I love it in the palm fronds especially. I think that's really pretty. I'll hold this up close so you can see. And this gold metallics, these mauve gold metallics, almost look like where the sun is kind of capturing some of the light to me. Okay, look, oh my gosh, that totally added some real beauty to it. Look at that. It just feels like that's what it looked like when I was standing and hiking in there. Some of these just glittered and were gold. All right, I'm done, guys. I hope you give this a try. Happy painting, and I will list my supplies here, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for playing along with me. All right, bye.